Okay, what up? This is a response to Brother John Lewis. Shout out to you, man. I apologize in the past for some of my mean comments. You know, I just be tweaking sometimes, man. But anyway, I've actually been mean to a lot of people on these internet streets sometimes. I just, you know, I be talking my is-nish. 30 seconds. I be talking my shit. I hear y'all not supposed to cuss in the first 30 seconds or something like that. But anyway, so what beat is this, y'all? I hope I don't get flagged. Anyway, so bro has a video where he talking about the blog era. I think actually he's not even talking about the blog era. The two things I'm finna respond to was not even a point of his video, but shout out to you for your video, bro. The video was about Generation X. Now that actually I will start off talking about. He said something about Generation X and he said something about the blog era. So Generation X, he said that Generation X is the worst generation out of all the blacks. And I say Generation X is the worst generation out of everybody, black or not. Because first of all, generations don't exist. But I will say this. If y'all want to play this game of Generation Z and anti-millennials, no. Nobody talks about Generation X. Have y'all noticed that? Nobody talks about Generation X. You know why? Because the motherfuckers suck. They have contributed very little to society. Also, going back to generations not existing. So the thing is, Generation Baby Boomer is everybody that was born between 1946 and 1964. Once again, I said this in my other videos. 46, 64, y'all just switched around the damn numbers. Like, y'all just arbitrarily say. Because think about it. You think somebody born in 1946, guys, so my dad was born in 1964. He was born in the last year to be considered a baby boomer. And you know how some people give a lot of credit to like the civil rights movement and a lot of the hippie movement and all that shit. They give the young people from Generation Baby Boomer a lot of credit for that. Two things. Number one, a lot of the people was grown as hell in that era. Like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was grown as hell. They was not born in the baby boomer generation. They was older than that. Number two, the youth that y'all are referring to are the older boomers. You feel me? So like the motherfuckers our parents' age that was born anywhere. People that was born in the 60s, fuck them. People who lived through the 60s that was like teenagers and up in the 60s and they was actually like old enough to do this, that, and the third. Those are the boomers that have any room with me and shit. Like as far as like including them as a conversation regarding radical movements and shit like that. The boomers that was like born in the 60s, that by the time they like came of age, so to speak, neoliberalism had already hit the ground running. Fuck them. They are not. They may as well be Generation X too. You feel me? So yeah, man, fuck all of that shit. Think about the shit like as far as art, because we about to switch gears and talk about this music shit. Think about like the art that they contributed. A lot of the art that they contributed to our, you know what I'm saying, zeitgeist or whatever. The what's going on? That was music that they didn't make. Generation X did not make that music. They grew up on that music, and that shit went in one ear and out the other. All they do is listen to that shit at fish fries and cookouts, but they never was, they wasn't really politicized like that. Slash some of the people that kind of was fake political, like during the 80s or whatever, a lot of them just succumbed. What's the past tense of succumbed to motherfucking you know what I'm saying, the neoliberalism of the 80s and shit. So like people like my father, I'm gonna keep cooking that nigga because he was one of the people that, during like the song Protect Your Neck, 1993. I was born that year. My dad was a huge Wu-Tang fan, but that shit don't matter. They was only doing music. Like I feel like the people that was in our big brother generation, our uncle generation, parents, you feel me? People that was born in like the 60s, 70s, and early 80s. Them motherfuckers ain't about shit. The music was just aesthetic to them. It was even people like Prince, you feel me, who was supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, some sort of radical, whatever the fuck he was supposed to be. Even him, I don't really know a lot about Prince, so I ain't gonna talk too much shit, but I feel like a lot of his energy probably contributed to a lot of our parents caring about the wrong shit, because they was all trying to party like it was 1999, you know what I'm talking about? But like I was saying, man, Generation X, y'all trash. Y'all did not do shit. Y'all did not contribute shit to our society except building upon neoliberalism and the capitalistic fuck shit that got us in the position we in now and getting worse. Plus, them motherfuckers weren't even paying attention to the shit that they was benefiting from. Like, because I read a lot, even though I don't like to read. So that should be some proof right there that y'all ass need to fucking read. So it's a book called The History of Low Wage Workers or something like that. I forgot, but I read that book a while back when I was living in Minnesota, so that was a while ago. I don't really remember. But one thing that I do remember from that book is that in the 80s, which is when Generation X came of age, in the 80s, a person that dropped out of high school, a person that only graduated from high school, and a person that graduated from college, all three groups had about the same chance of being successful. And before anybody say that's the same thing now, no, we're not talking about somebody becoming famous off some fucking TikTok video or somebody coming up off DraftKings casino or no scammy gig economy bullshit. I'm talking back in the 80s, you could get a job, a regular ass job, even if you didn't graduate from high school, and it was a good paying job. It was motherfucking union jobs and goddamn even jobs that wasn't union jobs. People was making serious bread in the 80s. Whether you was selling dope or not, you had an opportunity more than we motherfucker have now. The motherfuckers that lived through that time period, they do not contextualize that, and they're continuously trying to teach and preach some shit, but them motherfuckers don't know shit. I hate them niggas. I hate my parents. Yeah, I know I sound like how I sound like, but fuck them niggas. Anyway, on a slightly more positive tip. So, big homie John Lewis says that he thinks that the blog era was from 2008 to 2014. I must say, I feel like it was a little longer than that. I feel like it was damn near like a 10-year and some change run from like technically 2000. I will be stretching, but I would still be accurate saying 2005. But absolutely, I would say 2006, 2007 for sure. 2007 was sort of the early ass crack of dawn part of the blog era, and I would say it was laid to rest in 2016. So my introduction or my association with the blog era came from 3.5 situations or people or circumstances or whatever you want to look at. Number one, my cousin Chris. I hope you're doing well, cuz I talked a lot of shit about you in my videos, cuz you do be tweaking, but I hope you're doing well for real, cuz there's a lot of shit going on. But also, you're probably doing fucking fine. I'm pretty sure you're doing fine, and you know why. But anyway, Chris is a fucking hype beast, and he was always like trying to be the one that knew what was going on, looking for just the door to validation, the door to inclusion. He was always like, oh, what's this, that? So the positive side of that was, I was growing up on my mama's side. I was listening, when I was with my mama, I was listening to Gospel Radio 1390. If you know, you know. They changed the shit to Inspiration 1390, but hey. And then when I was with my dad, I was listening to La Ley 107.5. You know what I'm saying? But aside from that, oldies, whatever you want to call it, dusties. With my dad, he was listening to a lot of shit like Funkadelic, James Brown. My mother, she was listening to a lot of motherfucking Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson, Prince a little bit, really my dad was listening to Prince and shit like that. And any hip hop was like super old school hip hop if it wasn't straight up gospel rap or local rappers that was using that Kanye West neo soul soul beats just like you looking at no, but if it wasn't sounding at least kind of gospelish or sounding at least kind of motherfucking you know, ooh, I know that sample, and then give me a history lesson like, you know, he used this song to make that beat. If it was not no shit like that, I was not listening to no, it wasn't being played around me for damn sure. So Cousin Chris was the one that put me on to a lot of the shit that was a little more current and shit. Also, my mom at a certain point was straight up just not letting me listen to like what I wanted. She was like, nah, you're not playing that shit in my house. So with that being said, you know, my very first introduction to the blog era was 50 Cent versus Game. Who was I watching early? I think I was watching Wayno or no. I think it was Brother Bill. Side note, I was all, you know, self-conscious, like, oh damn, I waited too late to make my video and now it's all dark outside and shit. But hey, Lil Bill videos be greater than the motherfucker. He be having thousands of views, so we finna get this shit cooking, my brothers and sisters. Nah, but so when he dropped that G-U Not shit, when he did that, that was my first introduction to blog sites and shit, because little do people know World Star Hip Hop, and I googled this shit so I know. World Star Hip Hop launched August 9th, 2005. I'm a hip hop nerd. I do my research. I love knowing about shit, but I also in general love knowing about shit that actually, you know, connects to our people and our history and our heritage and shit. So World Star Hip Hop actually started 2005. But that song, the Game diss, when he dissed 50 Cent, that was, and I'm bringing up World Star because World Star was what Cuz used to, when I go over his house, he'd be on World Star Hip Hop. That was like when we was in grammar school. We was like 7th, 8th grade. Fucking rats in the fucking parking lot. But anyway, what the fuck I was gonna say? Hey y'all, this north side, like I said, y'all that watch me, y'all know I'm from the south side, but this north side / north suburb border between Chicago and Evanston and Skokie, y'all dirty as hell. Y'all got a lot of rats up here. What the fuck? I'm in a motherfucking Food for Less parking lot. Just came from goddamn Planet Fitness. Y'all ass dirty. Why y'all got all these rats? And then I remember one of my homies back in the day, JD, when I used to hang out when he was at this little job he was doing. He like would be delivering and shit. And so like in the alley, where he be waiting for deliveries, I'm back there smoking with him and shit. There's fucking rats galore. Motherfuckers racing each other and shit. Don't talk shit about the south side, because we don't got rats all over the goddamn place, which y'all booty breath ass. Anyway, what the fuck I was finna say? So, and y'all all bunch of non-blacks up here for the most part. So what the fuck? Don't ever talk shit about the black side, south side, boy. Anyway, what the fuck I was finna say? So, yeah. I googled this shit too. Game dropped that song in 2006. So yeah, the blog era actually started a little bit earlier than that. The second association I have with the blog era is the fact that I went to motherfucking Kenwood, and Kenwood was a different experience. It was super like diverse. Like it was a mainly black school, but it was other kids that went there that wasn't black. But even amongst the black kids, it was a lot of diversity. Like a lot of these kids had money. A lot of these kids was like had different like racial backgrounds. Some of them was like half black or whatever, and half some other shit. A lot of these kids was like, LGBT, a lot of different shit. So I motherfucking found out about two artists that was in the Chicago young hipster skateboarder pseudo hype beast you know, I don't know, crowd or whatever you want to call it. But number one was Kid Cudi. It's crazy because the first Kid Cudi song I heard was motherfucking Pillow Talk, which don't really sound like shit that he's made since. But when I heard that, I was like, this shit is dope as hell. But I had never heard of no Kid Cudi, and I've never listened to no music that sounded like that. Up until that point, the shit I was listening to was damn near all Lil Wayne. Like, once I was able to, like, listen to shit other than gospel rap and shit, I was listening to a lot of Lil Wayne and was really convinced that this motherfucker was the best rapper and shit. It took them kids at Kenwood showing me them other and even rappers like Lupe Fiasco, who a lot of his shit, the blogs and shit. Also, I didn't even bring this part up. This is a side note. My mom was dating this dude at a time. This dude, he's a fucking asshole. But anyway, this dude, he was a clothing guy. He like had a clothing brand, and so he had access to some shit. I guess it was a blog or some shit. I don't know what it was, but I used to sign in using his account. Excuse me. And it was all kind of drops and shit all the time. You know what I should have Googled? Damn, I don't got my other woobly wop on me. I could have looked up when Dat Piff came into, because Dat Piff, that was like a blog essentially, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm pretty sure that shit was probably like when we was in grammar school too. I could be wrong though. But anyway, Lupe, my homie, we was friends back then. He doing his own thing. He fell into the trap of capitalism, of course. Like, oh, that's another thing. I'm gonna bring this up too. So this kid Charles, right? This kid Charles showed me. He was like, man, I think Lupe almost better than Lil Wayne. And I was like, Lil Wayne, he the best rapper alive, blah, blah, blah. And then I started listening to other shit like Dear Fall. What was that other song by Lupe that I really thought that Diamonds Are Forever remix he did was fire. And then just a lot of shit bro had that was like underground shit that you wasn't, if you was just listening to the radio or just listening to hood niggas, you wouldn't know about none of this shit. But anyway, so then this man Charles is blood cousins with Chance the Rapper. And back when Chance very, very first started rapping, I didn't know who he was and I didn't take him seriously. But that brings me to the third thing that, you know, introduced me to the blog era or got me connected to it or whatever, is when I started rapping my damn self. I actually ended up meeting Chance the Rapper. I've met Vic Mensa. He is a bitch. Do not let none of this shit that he's doing nowadays, this fake woke, let's all go to Africa bullshit, do not let that shit fool you. I have had problems with him directly and indirectly for as long as the blog era has existed. Like back then I had friends that, and I don't inherit beef, so don't nobody think that, but I had friends that had issues with him and they was doing little fake gangbanging shit, and this man Vic Mensa was on some fake gangbanger shit and they was into it with this man and his people, and I'm like, that don't got shit to do with me, but nobody's story of his is positive. My cousin's family, same cousin Chris, you know, who always got his, you know, ear to the streets and shit. He was working with some artists and shit, and them artists had an issue with motherfucking Vic Mensa. Yo, if y'all want a video on like why Vic Mensa is a bitch, and if y'all want this video, I need y'all to get in the comments. I need this video to do very well. I need at least like 2 racks on this video before I do the fuck Vic Mensa video. But yeah, this motherfucker has come to my job before. He's a bitch ass nigga. I do not. Oh, side note, if y'all didn't know, he's half white. If you didn't know, and I know a lot of what that got to do with it has an impact. Cause number one, his mama is white, and y'all know. Shout out to Dr. Ballhead. I don't just be disrespectful. I got a nickname for all y'all. I be tweaking. I be trolling y'all. But no, Dr. Ball, Dr. Jared Ball, he's half white, and he was like, yeah, being half white and your mama being white versus your daddy being white, huge difference. Then on top of that, the black side of Mr. Mensa, is, and then look, I'm not with that Tariq shit. I'm not with that tribalism shit. But the black side of him is West African. You already know how sometimes they get down. The motherfucker is privileged as hell. He grew up next door to Farrakhan's mansion. He's a bitch. Fuck Vic Mensa. But anyway, more positive note, I've met Katie got bands. Now, that sister is a human. I really, you cannot say nothing bad about her because my interaction with her was so cool. I met her when I was on the Green Line. I was passing out my CDs and shit, physical copies of CDs. Gave her a copy. She was so cool, kind of trolled me a little bit when I met her, but she was super sweet. She was with her homegirls, ghetto as fuck, but I love it. I love that type of shit. Like I said, I met her on the Green Line, G. I'm just walking up and down the fucking train, passing out my shit, and a sister girl on the Green Line. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I've met King Louis. King Louis, cool dude. My little brother met King Louis. Took a picture with him. I don't really do that picture taking shit, but little brother did that shit, and that was cool and whatever. Met King Louis at my job. King Louis didn't act a fool. So once again, fuck Vic Mensa. But yeah, another side note with the blogs is I was dating a young lady during this time period, like around 2012, 13, 14, and a little bit of 2015. We had broken up by then, by 2013, but we were still fucking around and shit. But point is, her career, she's still doing music to this day. Her shit's still pretty much taking off. And salute to her, but I still got my reservations about Shorty because she's, to me, not a good person. But anyway, she was definitely tapped in, and I ended up meeting people through the Chicago local scene through her. She ended up getting her shit in blogs. Me and her have a collaboration. I'm gonna put the song in the description because it was a good song. It was the most successful song that I have to date. It was a song that we did for Fight for 15. Side note, Fight for 15, fuck y'all. What are y'all doing? Fight for 15 been around for like 15 years. It should be Fight for 25 by now. But anyway, I also got a video about. Go watch my video about Kroger and why this whole shit about unions is kind of bullshit. But anyway, so there was a blog called going back to the whole 2006 to 2007 being closer to the origin of 2008. 2008 was when Fake Short Drive was invented. And I had never even heard of Fake Short Drive until like one of my little brother homies had put me on to it, and that started in 2008. So Fake Short 2008 or 2007, I think. No, Fake Short was 2007. And what do you call it? World Star Hip Hop was 2005. So between 2005, 2007, 2006, that's when I say vlog era really kind of started. But anyway, so there was a blog site in Chicago called 4-Star Chicago. I was shopping around our song. It was me, she was on the hook, and it was two other people on the song too. Shout out to LV and AD. So I was the one doing all of this shit. You feel me? Publicizing and being like, hey, yo, I was the one shopping our song around to the different blogs. And 4-Star, shout out to 4-Star Chicago. I don't know if they still around, but they definitely were the only ones that I remember putting and it may be the reason why the song got so successful. But at any rate, that was my experience with the blog site. I feel like I was gonna say some other shit, but I forgot. But I will say, as far as the death of the blog era. Why am I saying it was 2016? Because one significant part of the blog era was Double XL's freshman class, which the last year that I remember anybody like. Let me rephrase it. The first year that I noticed people started to say, "Yo, fuck this shit." Like, when I remember when they dropped the cover for the 2016 edition with freshman class, everybody that really cared about hip hop and really liked, that real rap shit, however you want to look at it, we all kind of looked left and right and was like, okay, this is over with. Now we all can leave. We can wrap it up. We gave up on that fucking Double XL shit after 2016. That was the nail in the coffin. I remember somebody photoshopped Future's face on everybody's picture on that cover, which of course isn't fair, because obviously a lot of those artists sounded nothing like Future, but a lot of it, the whole point was a lot of the shit was mumble rap, drug addict bullshit, and motherfuckers not trying to hear that shit. Let's see. Everybody on that cover also, with a few minor exceptions, Dave East was on that cover, and I've not heard much about. It's not like I was really following his shit like that, but I don't remember Dave East in recent history. And then Lil Dicky. Aside from, even if you know what? Fuck it. Even if you do count his bullshit ass Dave series, I still feel like everybody on that cover still has at least somewhat of a career today, or has had some significant presence in hip hop or hip hop news as recently as like maybe a few years ago. So with that being said, I feel like and I should have looked this up before doing this shit, but every freshman class after 2016, I feel like was not taken seriously. I feel like everybody was like, okay, what the fuck is y'all talking about now? Get the fuck out of here. And so, yeah, that's why I say the blog era started around 2006 or 7-ish, and ended around 2016. So that's about a 10-year whoopity wop for that one. I hope y'all enjoy this. If y'all did like the video, come on, G. Comment. Once again, comment if you want that Fuck Vic Mensa video. Also check the description for the song that I got from the blog era that they put on one of the blogs. Also share this video to maybe spark a little debate, if you will. And then I would say subscribe. Watch my other I finally got one of my songs that has been on this page for 4 years, finally reached 1,000 views this week. That one is called My Failed Attempt at Running for Mayor of Chicago. It's a song, so it's only 4 minutes long, bars. So check that out, please. Like the video, comment, especially if you want the Fuck Vic Mensa video. Check out the song in the description, because I gotta do repetition because y'all don't listen. Bars. Share the video for a debate or just for fun, and subscribe. And I'm done.